body, the elected body, and they called it the loyal officers. They were there to protect the populations and so forth. And they had elected a fellow by the name of Xemu, could be spelled Xemu, to the supreme ruler. And they were about to elect him. And he took the last moment he had in office to really goof the flute. Yes, I don't blame you for dropping something. And they were imported. They were actually, the trick was to shoot somebody, disable somebody, very often a needle into the lung, and at the same time to hit him with frozen alcohol and glycol, which preparation is guaranteed to pick up a patient. All he had to do was pick him up and put him in a refrigerator, and they had him, boy. As he tried to sterilize from the body, there he was frozen. And they threw him into collection points, boxed them up in...
Hi, I'm Errol McInnes. Welcome to Gods and Glass Tubes. Today, we're once again here at the Phoenix Ideal Org here in the beautiful city of Phoenix, Arizona. Today, we're going to be doing a little breakdown of the religious practices, the sacraments, and some of the religious figures, the devout figures of the Church of Scientology. Now, Scientology did have themselves proclaimed a church so that they no longer had to pay tax and they could enjoy the comforts of the 501c3 protection. So we're going to be taking a look at some of the religious practices. We're going to be taking a look at how the Church of Scientology worships. We're also going to be taking a look at some of the community outreach programs that Scientology has here in Phoenix, not just in Phoenix, but in other cities like Clearwater, Florida, and Los Angeles, California. The Church of Scientology does indeed have some unique worship practices. Let's take a look at one of those religious practices, and that religious practice is community outreach. Now, with community outreach, the Church of Scientology does have a very special approach for those who are not actually involved in the church. Let's take a look at that.
The 12 characteristics of a social personality.
Here we see the church's outreach program for those outside the church. Non-Scientologists are welcome to the org with insults and denigrations. The Scientologists actually go out of their way to come out of the church and begin to insult everyone on the street. It was Hubbard's theology that taught that hurling insults and publicly denigrating those outside the church would bring peace to the world and foster positive relationships. Hubbard's practice of making the world a better place is known as confront. In Hubbard Holy Scriptures, he is quoted as saying, "Never defend, always attack." These attacks on non-Scientologists have so far not worked very well. However, Scientologists value communication, especially the communication that insults, denigrates, and brings negative attention to the religion. Hubbard preached that bringing this negative communication to the world would inspire non-Scientologists to become Scientologists.
Why don't you go support Jane Eastgate, who protects child molesters, William? Why don't you read the news?
You're a suppressive.
No way, dude.
Stay away from my children.
No, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here a lot more now.
Stay away
A
from my
lot
children.
more.
You're a suppressive person.
Bring it on.
You need to change
Bring
your
it
clothes.
on.
You need to go get a job. Do something with your life.
Can I sign up for your cult?
You're a suppressive.
Can I sign up for a cult?
You're just a suppressive.
Can I have $50 a week?
Stay away from my kids.
Can I have $50 a week to go
Stay away
tape
from our
people and
children.
give
You're
people a hard
suppressive.
time?
You're a suppressive person.
I know. We've been over this.
I know we have. You're a suppressive.
I acknowledge you.
You're a suppressive person.
I
Stay away from my children.
duplicate you utterly,
Go
William.
Get a job. I know you got fired as a floor sweeper.
Right.
You can't even keep your job as a floor sweeper. You wear the same clothes.
Right.
You stink. You wear a Barbie pack on your back.
Yep.
You're pathetic.
I'm
You're
drunk. Yep.
Yeah, so stay away from my kids.
Sure.
You're a suppressive.
Okay.
Just stay away from my kids.
Okay.
You're a suppressive person.
Got it.
You need to stop.
Okay.
You need to stop being suppressive.
Right.
And stay away from my children.
Sure.
Because you're a suppressive person.
I know.
You're a suppressive.
I got it.
Good. You're a suppressive.
You're such a robot.
You're a suppressive
You're a Ron
person.
bot.
Stay away from my
You're a
children.
Ron bot. You do what you're
Go
told.
get some new clothes. Go get a new job.
Hey, man, what's going on?
That's why America's amazing.
Is it? It is. It really is. I love it.
Go do something with your life.
Nope. I'm going to stand out here every day, all day. Every day, all
I
day.
forgot. You lost your job sweeping floors.
Right. Now I
You
make
can't
money.
even keep a job sweeping floors.
Now I make money protesting.
That's pathetic. You
Yeah.
can't keep your job sweeping floors.
You can't get a
That's
reaction out of it.
pathetic.
You have to be
That's
better than
terrible.
that.
You're a suppressive.
Go ahead.
Stay away from my children. You're a
Incomplete
suppressive.
comm cycle. What?
You're a suppressive. Stay
I
away
know.
from my children.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
You need to stay away from the
I don't know who your children are, but surely I will stay away from
You
them.
need to stay away from the church. You need
Right.
to stay away from my children.
Oh, I'm
You
not
need
staying away
to
from the
stop
church.
being suppressive.
I'll be here all the time now.
You need
All
to
the
stop
time.
being suppressive.
All the time, William.
You're going to implode.
All the time.
You're going to implode.
Uh-huh.
You smell bad.
Yep.
You don't wash.
Right.
You need to bathe.
Yep.
You need to get a job.
Right.
You need to do something with your life.
Right.
You're a suppressive.
I got it.
And you need to stop.
I know. You're a cult member.
It needs
Why
to
don't you sign a
completely
billionaire
stop.
contract and give away your life?
You need to stop.
Yeah.
You need to stop being suppressive.
Why
and
don't
do
you
something with your life.
Why don't you tell Jane Eastgate to quit protecting child molesters?
Do something with your life.
I am. I'm
Do
protesting.
something with your life
I'm protesting your cult.
Besides being a suppressive person.
I'm protesting your cult.
Be something besides suppressive. Change your clothes. Get a job.
First of all, I took a shower
Do
this
something
morning.
with your life.
Second of all, I did change my clothes. And third
Do
of all,
something with your life. Get a job. Instead of being a floor sweeper, do something with
what's
your
wrong
life.
with the floor sweeper?
Nothing's wrong with a floor sweeper if you can keep the job as a floor sweeper.
Right.
Obviously, you can't keep a job as a floor sweeper.
Right.
So you need to do something with your life.
Okay.
Because you're a suppressive.
I got it.
And you need to stay away from my
You can't
children
cave me in,
and
William.
stay away from the church.
You can't cave me in.
You need to stop being
I'm going to be here so much more now.
Stop being a suppressive.
So much more.
And
Why don't
do
you
something with your life.
Why don't you quit living off of Miriam? Why don't you quit living
Stop
off
being
of
suppressive
Miriam's
and
real
do
job
something with your life.
and do something with your life?
Do something with your
You're
life.
just a scrounge.
Stop being a
No,
suppressive.
you scrounge
Stay
off
away from
Miriam
our
Sophie.
children
No,
and
you
stay away from
scrounge
the
off of
church.
her.
You need to stay away.
You're just a scrub.
You need to stay away from
Yep,
everyone.
you're a scrub.
You need to go do something with your life
Yep.
instead of being a
Ooh,
suppressive person.
let me marry Miriam Sophie. Then I won't have to have a real job in my life.
Stop being a suppressive.
You want to play that
and
game?
Do something with your life.
You want to play that game?
Stop being a suppressive and do something with your life. I have a job.
Yeah,
don't
you
have a
sure
job.
do, pal.
Why don't you
You
do
sure
something
do.
with your life? Get a job.
I will.
Instead of being fired from being a floor sweeper because you can't even hold a job being a
Sure.
Try to change your life. You can change your life by doing something different.
You're going to be looking for a job real soon, my friend, because Scientology's going out of business.
Instead of being a suppressive person, you should go get a job.
Right.
You can even do anything you
Blah,
like.
blah, 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 blah.
Except get a job, except for you can't hold a job as a floor sweeper. Understandably, because you're a suppressive person.
Right.
If you stop being suppressive, you might be able to hold a job.
Got it.
You might be able to make yourself
Got it.
productive in life. Actually do something with your life.
Got it.
You know?
Yes,
A 35-year-old
I know.
person should be productive in life, not
What?
sitting around in shorts
What was that?
and a Hawaiian shirt. And
What's
being a
wrong with the
suppressive
Hawaiian
person.
shirt?
Instead of being a suppressive person,
Is it a crime to bring a little color into the world?
You should go get a job like a normal person.
I know.
You know?
Right. Maybe I should just be PTS to the middle class and like just, you know, like
better off hanging out with the
look
homeless
straight ahead,
guys
don't look
because you
around,
can't get a
don't
job.
ask questions, don't rock the boat,
You
keep
know,
my
why don't you go get a
Scientology
job?
cult the way it is.
Get a job.
No.
Go do something with your life.
No.
Stay away from my kids.
Yep.
Stop being a suppressive person.
Right.
And go get a job.
Sure.
Do something with your life.
Yep.
Change your life. Go do something with it.
Well, you know,
Get a
I've already
job.
told you. I'm not going to do what you say.
Get a job. You should get a job. Get a job doing something.
I won't do what you tell me.
Good.
Do you see?
Go get a job.
Try telling me the opposite of what you would like to have me do.
Stop
Try
being a
telling
suppressive
me
person.
to don't go get a job. Try
You're
that.
suppressive.
I know.
Stop being a suppressive person.
I know.
Go get a job. Stay away from the church. And stay away from children.
Oh, no. Will not do.
Stay away from the children.
Will not do. Hi, ma'am. See what your Scientology donations pay for?
Stay away from the church.
Isn't this wonderful?
Stop being a suppressive.
We're just one big happy family. Come and talk.
And go get a job.
No.
You need to go get a job.
No, I don't.
You need to go.
No, I don't.
Go get a job.
Nope.
Since you can't keep a job.
You're such a
try
tool.
to find a job.
Go live off Miriam Safi. Let her do the real
get a
work,
job.
and you just live off of her. Hey, what's
Get a
up,
job.
Mark?
Go find something.
Hey, is that
Go
Universal
find some
Solvent?
productive work and get a job.
No.
You need to get a job.
No, I don't.
Stop being a leech off society.
Stop being a
and
leech
get
off
job.
Miriam Safi.
Stop being a leech off society.
Stop being a leech off Miriam
Get a job.
Safi.
Do something with
Bet you
your
like
life.
that when you landed that nice sweet deal, didn't you?
You can't-
You're burying yourself.
Another of Scientology's ministries is the neighborhood ministry. It is designed to overwhelm and terrorize. Often when the Scientologists show at your door, they will aggravate you and attempt to goad you into a fight. Hubbard believed that humanity would prosper and grow if his followers showed up 4 or 5 at a time and knocked on your door at any given time of the day or night. He felt that spreading the good news of Scientology would be far more effective if the church members wore GoPros on their heads and pictures of squirrels on their t-shirt. This is actual scripture written by L. Ron Hubbard, and what you are
I
seeing
identified
is an
myself when
actual
you opened the
religious
door. May I ask you to
Church
leave?
of Scientology.
We'll be glad to leave, Marty, but we would like to interview you. Why don't you come downstairs and we'll interview you? What do you got to say about that, Marty? How about that?
I don't have anything to say to an unidentified
Well, I told you I was.
punk who comes with 4 people to my door unidentified.
Marty, I'm with Squirrel Busters
in
Productions.
goofball outfits.
Marty, I'm with Squirrel Busters Production doing an investigation on you and your squirrel technology that you're promoting.
Okay, you're interrupting the delivery of Scientology, which is
Marty, you don't deliver Scientology and haven't for years.
No meters.
No meter, no PC folders. I've been reading your blogs, Marty. There's just no way you're delivering anything to do with Scientology.
All right, I've got you guys now. Now leave.
Okay, we'll be glad to leave.
Good. And don't come back.
Marty, why don't you come downstairs and we'll interview you on this point?
I told you to leave. Get out of here.
Oh, no, I'm leaving.
Beat it. Now who's busting who?
Marty, you're the one who's busted because you're the squirrel.
I said get off my property, boy.
Okay, I'll get off the property.
Why don't we come out here and finish the interview, Marty?
Get off my property, big boy.
Okay, Marty, so you want to do the interview out here?
This is the esteemed value of the Church of Scientology. So let's take a look at some more footage of some of their other scriptural values.
Let's go join them instead of harassing us.
Here, another one of Scientology's well-known apostles, Mary DeMoss, is seen spreading the good news of Scientology with a member of the Lisa McPherson Trust. That trust was established after Lisa McPherson was taken from a hospital in Pinellas County and stored at the Fort Harrison Hotel. She was stored there until she died of dehydration. The church was absolved of any responsibility for her death, as due to religious freedom laws it was found that they had the prerogative to allow a parishioner to die as a result of religious neglect. Mary DeMoss can be found at any given time hurling accusations at those standing in front of the Fort Harrison Hotel in Clearwater. This is how Scientologists seek to clear the planet and improve relations with the community. DeMoss's job is actually focusing on ministering to people outside the hotel with accusations, innuendos, and falsified statements specifically designed to make their lives more miserable in the search to find the better human condition.
You're obstructing the sidewalk traffic. You are. You are, sir. You are, sir. Ow! You stepped on my foot. By Scientology. Ow! You stepped on my foot. You gotta say you're sorry. I'd say, excuse me. Your mother never taught. I think this is wrong. They can't block the sidewalk. You can't. Excuse me. You cannot block the sidewalk. That's illegal.
Please, over here! This guy is holding me prisoner. I want him to go to jail. He's not ruling my life. L. Ron Hubbard does not rule anybody's life. Let me go through.
Now, one of the devout religious practices that Scientology has, it's kind of like one of their sacraments, is the sacrament of fair game. The sacrament of fair game is reserved for those who don't feel like the Church of Scientology is filling their spiritual needs. There's a special approach in which the Church of Scientology reaches out to those who don't agree with the church, or those who don't feel like the church is going to fulfill that spiritual need within them. Let's take a look at the special sacrament of fair game.
We're at the Tampa airport waiting for German government official Ursula Caberta to arrive. Here's the chairman of the board of the Lisa McPherson Trust, Robert S. Minton, and Stacy Brooks.
The guy over there with the ponytail is our PI.
We also brought along our attorney, John Merritt, but we're not the only ones waiting for Ursula. There's a vast selection of other people there at the airport, all Scientologists. They've all been brought together by one man, Al Butner, Scientology's PR representative from Toronto, who was brought down to Clearwater, Florida, to deal with the trouble created by the Lisa McPherson Trust moving to town. And when Ursula's plane arrived, we knew there'd be some sort of trouble, but never imagined the scene that was about to erupt.
Nazi criminal, go back to Germany! Nazi criminal, go back to Germany!
You're not welcome. This lady is a criminal.
Go back to Germany!
We don't want you here. We like freedom of religion. Hi, we like freedom of religion.
You are banned.
Now, the Church of Scientology, like any other church, does have scriptures. Those holy scriptures are not just in the written word. Those holy scriptures are also in the videotaped word. We're going to be taking a look at some of the scriptures that are produced by Scientology in their studios in California. Let's take a look at some of the holy scripture that Scientology avows by.
It originally formed Golden Era Productions to do the films of Scientology.
He realized that in the modern age we live in, if Scientology were to be correctly taught the way it's supposed to be, People would need to see how it's done. He wrote a core body of films, which comprise a total of 26 films, and within them is contained the basics of the scriptures.
In such a way that's artistic and aesthetic.
It's like a visual Bible for Scientologists to be able to apply the principles of L. Ron Hubbard.
For Mike Rinder to be now using this, that he was a Sea Org member or a Sea Org dad, as an excuse or as a shield to, as you know, a shield to cover up what he really, that it was him. Like, he's the one behind that shield. So that shield is this strong defense and why it was and whatever. But behind it, he's back there cowering and knowing he never cared. He never does care. He's only holding that shield right now for publicity's sake.
Tony Ortega, at one point was really sort of sucking up to me because I was sort of the attention of a lot of media, and he wanted to get his media cred. And he flew all the way down to South Texas to my home. And he had just got fired from the Village Voice, which he had sort of converted into this anti-Scientology platform for 2 years. And at a rare moment where he had a motive to be somewhat candid, he told me about the circumstances on which he left the Village Voice. And the circumstances, he said, this can't go anywhere, but what happened is that the Village Voice had been accused, and in fact had been factually been investigated by law enforcement, of human trafficking and promoting the child sex slave industry by its back pages ads.
Now, one of the church's apostles, who was at one time held into the greatest of esteem in the church, he had a very special place right next to their Messiah, David Miscavige. Now, Marty Rathman was a Scientologist for quite some time, and one of Marty Rathman's devout community outreach programs was to assign private detectives to people who were involved in the church or people who had disagreements with the church. And in that hallowed capacity, in order to enrich the lives of the individuals in the community, what he would do is he would send private detectives out to their house, to their jobs. He would launch campaigns to try and get them fired. He would launch campaigns to try and wreck the credit reports. This was all considered to be an improvement to the human condition. The Church of Scientology holds greatly the esteemed value that if somebody is jobless and has their credit wrecked, that will make for a better world. Tom Cruise spoke of this when he said that Scientologists know that they need to do something. Well, when Scientologists want to do something, what they do is they'll make every attempt to detach that person from any sense of a real world by ruining their job, ruining their credit. And how that built the community is never really explained by the Church of Scientology. They just do it in the hopes of bettering mankind by causing people to divorce, by causing people to disconnect with their parents or their children or other family members. These are the kind of things that make the world a better place.
Oh yes, that's her. Flying Rathbone in, who, now expelled from the religion, is a friend of any enemy of its founder. Not that any of Rathbone's atrocities were his fault, mind you, because according to Rathbone, you see, he was provoked. Like that time when documentary filmmakers began quietly filming on public property near his Texas hovel, he couldn't wait to get out onto the street to mix it up.
Damaging personal property.
Watch your step, boy.
Is that a threat?
Yep.
He'll pick fights with anyone. Like in New Orleans, on his honeymoon, no less, where in a drunken stupor, he threatened a bouncer and 2 cops. After finally being subdued shirtless by police on horses normally used for riot control, he spent the night in the pokey, teary-eyed but none the wiser. Even when he's being arrested, handcuffed, and booked for assault with bodily harm, there's Kingpin Rathbone sticking to that well-worn story that no, he wouldn't even hurt a fly.
Mosey, did you ever see me hurt anybody?
No.
Only the mirror tells a different story.
Did you hear? I'll get that. I heard her. You said don't look at her. You understand that? I heard you. Why don't you come stand over here, bud?
But didn't Rathbone say...
Mosey, did you ever see me hurt anybody?
But when questioned about this cowardly attack on his wife, Rinder demonstrated a remarkable lack of compassion.
Mr. Rinder, let me ask you a question. I interviewed your ex-wife, Kathy. She showed
lay out the ground rules.
She showed me the marks on her arms where you gouged her arms.
Really?
Absolutely. And she needs surgery.
Excuse me.
She needs surgery.
Do you have a business card?
Even more recently, Rinder was caught on camera mauling a defenseless 71-year-old man until finally confronted and stopped by a passing fireman. Wonder if he cares that assaulting a senior citizen is a felony in the state of Florida. And remember the incident when Rathbone slammed the car door on reporter Jim Lynch? That's Rinder as chauffeur. The next time Rinder saw Lynch, this was his oh-so-sympathetic offer.
Do you know what? I think you should stick your arm inside the car again.
When Lynch went to see Rinder's business associate Stephen Reynolds immediately afterward, violence again seemed to be the order of the day. And this time, there was no denying the true nature of this group.
Brandishing his weapon, threatening from the street.
1911 45 chrome black grip.
This is the vicious character of the South Texas militia-style cult headed by Marty Rathbone. And these are just the incidents recorded in medical reports, captured on video, or reported to the police. Rathbone will tell you that he is the victim, while being the aggressor. He will claim to be as honest as a choir boy, while telling lies that would make a con man blush.
So, having taken a look at this introduction to the Church of Scientology, to their ethical values, to their moral values, to the scriptures that they hold the most esteemed, now perhaps you'll take a look, perhaps you'll take a second look at joining the Church of Scientology. Is the Church of Scientology really what you want to make your life? Is this the way that you want to improve humanity? Is this the way that you want to clear the world of all of its grief? Is the Church of Scientology really the way to happiness? Or is the Church of Scientology the way to misery, but then they're going to tell you that that miserable feeling that you're getting is really happiness? That's going to be up to you to decide. But if you're Christian, by all means, feel free to pray for me, because I'll keep thinking for you. Thanks for watching Gods in Glass Tubes.